Hello, welcome, and thanks for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Gumansing. Rats and roaches are continuing to infest the kitchen at the Alexander Henderson School. Unfortunately, this is an issue that has been ongoing for a number of years. The Board of Education, along with the Department of Health and Maintenance, are doing their best to put an end to this situation this time around. News 2's Shanika Robinson has details.
The Alexander Henderson Elementary School was the hot topic of discussion this morning as rats and roaches continue to infest their kitchen.
They have had a problem with rat infestation in the cafeteria area for quite a while now.
According to school employees, it's been a number of years in which rats and roaches have been found in the elementary school's kitchen.
Whatever they use to get rid of the rodents seems that it has not worked. But in all honesty, education has tried their best.
Now that the situation is out of control, strict plans are being put into place to rectify the problem.
What we intend to do is to remove some of the kitchen equipment that has been abandoned, as well as installing a partition that goes beyond the ceiling at the kitchen so that we could concentrate on one area in the kitchen to control the rodents.
Senator Giddens suggests that the operation be shut down immediately but operated in a different school within the district.
Now this is about my fourth time here checking in on this situation. This is truly a health hazard.
As a result, Insular Superintendent Gary Malloy and his board have decided to close the school's kitchen until further notice.
Department of Education has made a voluntary decision to close the kitchen at Alexander Henderson so that we can take a little more time and find where the source of the rodents are coming.
The Director of Maintenance has promised that the remainder of the week will be dedicated to the Alexander Henderson School's kitchen and the repairs will not be stopped until the entire kitchen is rodent-free.
We have not been addressing it in its entirety because of financial constraint. But of course, this time around, we're going to aggressively work towards mitigating it completely.
We're working out to have the lunches satellite from the Arthur Richards kitchen and the schools that we satellite to, some of the other schools that go to Henderson, we're going to be working out for them to receive their food from Claude Amaco.
Shaniqua Robinson, News 2.
St. Croix Superintendent Gary Malloy added that even though this is a temporary measure, a specific date could not be given as to when the kitchen will reopen. News 2 will keep you updated. Well, despite one challenge after another, the Juan Luis Hospital announced some good news this weekend. The hospital's laboratory was visited by the Joint Commission on Friday, and the unexpected visit proved the lab is on point. News 2's Erica Parsons has details.
The Joint Commission has put their stamp of approval on Juan Luis Hospital's lab. The health regulatory body made a surprise visit to the lab Friday.
They caught us doing what we do on a routine basis and did not give us any time for preparation. So what they saw is what we do on a daily basis.
The Joint Commission can pop in any time. When they do, they're trying to make sure that hospitals meet their standards for quality and safety. According to the Joint Commission's inspector, her examination of Juan Luis' lab revealed no findings, and that's what the preliminary report says.
Well, it always feels good to be acknowledged by the Joint Commission.
Down in the laboratory, of course, I said they did tracers, so they left the laboratory, went to the emergency room, went to medical as well as the progressive care unit, but they also looked at quality controls. Is the laboratory conducting quality controls on the tests that's being done on a daily basis? And they found that all the quality controls were exactly how they needed to be completed.
Juan Luis Hospital's lab was reaccredited by the Joint Commission after a recent visit in September. They're responsible for a number of functions.
In some sections, we check chemistries on body fluids. We have a hematology area where we check for blood and blood problems. We have a microbiology section where we check for organisms and infections. And then not only do we test blood and fluid products, but we also do testing on tissue.
You know, Sandy, as I was conducting those interviews at the lab, the official report came in from the Joint Commission, and I'd like to read to you what it says. It says here, as a result of the accreditation activity conducted on the above dates, and they're referencing January 17th, 2014, there were no requirements for improvement identified, and that's certainly good news for the Juan Luis Hospital and its staff. And so reporting from JFL, I'm Erica Parsons for News 2.
Thanks for that update, Erica. Interim CEO Dr. Kendall Griffith said in a statement that he wasn't surprised by the findings. He said the staff is focused on doing the best job possible in every area of the hospital. In other news, the VIPD is looking for a male minor, a resident of the Youth Rehabilitation Center who did not report back to the center after the end of the school day on Friday, January 17th. Stephen Jacobs, take a look at the picture there, has been sighted in the vicinity of the JFK and D. Hamilton Jackson housing communities since his disappearance. Jacobs is Hispanic with a light complexion, 5'7" tall, about 135 pounds. He has black hair worn in a large afro or pulled back into a ponytail and a tattoo of a rosary on his chest. If you have any information, contact the Youth Investigation Bureau at 778-2211 or Crime Stoppers USVI at 1-800-222-TIPS. Police on St. Thomas are investigating a parent suicide that was discovered on January 18th in Smith Bay. The lifeless body of Ron Rivera, age 32, was found by family members near an abandoned home in an overgrown area. According to medical personnel, the victim may have expired 2 to 3 days before it was discovered. The family told police Ron Rivera was last seen leaving his home on January 15th and that family members have been searching for him. Police were notified of the discovery about 8:15 a.m. on January 18th. Investigators said an autopsy is pending. Police said the autopsy results may shed light on the circumstances surrounding the death of this victim. St. John Deputy Police Chief Maria Jones confirmed that police are investigating a suspicious death that occurred at an apartment on Boatman Road on that island. 911 emergency dispatch notified police of the case at 9:55 a.m. January 19th. The male victim was found dead in his apartment. The deputy chief reported. Major Crime and Criminal Investigation Bureau detectives are investigating this case. The investigators are urging anyone who can assist them in determining the circumstances surrounding this death to call them at 714-9834, 715-5522-911, or you can also call Crime Stoppers USVI at 1-800-222-TIPS. In honor of the late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., hundreds of students and community organizations marched the streets of Frederiksted Monday. There were chants of "We have peace, we have justice, and we have equal rights," and songs like "We shall overcome." Senator Terrence Nelson urged the participants to do something to make a positive change.
The theme today says one man with courage makes a majority. So, I'm telling you this. There's a shirt I read. It says Martin, Mandela, Marley, Malcolm. And I want for you, all of us, to accept the responsibility of adding the me. Okay? Put yourself in that mix and make yourself do something.
Meanwhile, a peace march and rally was also held on Monday on St. Thomas. Many gathered at the Rothschild Francis Market Square to march to the Emancipation Garden for a rally that proceeded there, where a crowd had already gathered. It was presented by the distinguished gentlemen of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity. Now, many youth organizations, school bands, majorettes, and other groups were in attendance. A short program followed at the Emancipation Garden, and many paused to bow their heads and hold hands in prayer in remembrance of the slain civil rights leader, Dr. Martin Luther King. Meanwhile, the Parent Teachers Association of Lou Muckle Elementary School is presently meeting this evening. Students are holding presentations on the life and times of Dr. Martin Luther King and a workshop to help parents better connect with their children. Parents will also get the chance to develop a wide range of skills to include cake making, jewelry making, and arts and crafts, some additional, according to Abdullah Lee, Muckle's PTA president at Lou Muckle School. Well, in other news, along with Target shoppers and Neiman Marcus customers, 3 more major retailers may have had their systems hacked during the holiday shopping season. The security breaches left millions of Americans who use their credit and debit cards at the stores vulnerable to fraud and theft. Tara Merchant reports from Falls Church, Virginia.
News, Falls Church, Virginia.
And keeping our eye on the economy, stocks were mixed as investors sift through a new round of earnings reports. The world's richest man believes there will be almost no poor countries by 2035. Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates says most countries will have higher per-person income by 2035 than China does now. He made that prediction in the annual Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation letter. CEOs see the economic glass as half full. A PricewaterhouseCoopers survey finds CEOs around the world are more confident in the global economy. That improved optimism could lead to more investment, growth, and jobs. This is the stock exchange. The Dow down 44, NASDAQ and S&P up, the NASDAQ 28, S&P 5. Coming up on News 2, a dangerous situation brewing for residents who live near this bridge in the Scott-Free area on St. Thomas. An update from the Department of Public Works. We'll be right back. Well, be sure to mark this on your calendar. Governor John DeYoung will be delivering his annual State of the Territory address before a formal session of the 30th Legislature on Monday, January 27, 2014. During the speech, he is expected to review the accomplishments of the past year and speak to the challenges the territory still faces. Be sure to tune in to CBS TV 2 at 7 p.m. We will air the address live at the legislature. Then tune in at 12 a.m. for our regular News 2 newscast. And then on Tuesday, we will have team coverage. Don't forget, you can follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. The Department of Public Works recently issued a warning on the use of a bridge at Estate Scott-Free that is in danger of collapsing. We take a closer look at the actual damage on this important Scott-Free bridge and listen to some residents who have lost access to essential utility services.
If you're driving from Niski Center up to Four Corners going by Estate Scott-Free, you won't miss these large barricades along the way that limit access to this road. The road is actually a bridge, the only link between the main road and residents living in this area of Scott-Free and Upper John Dunco. The bridge has been in bad condition for more than a decade, but the government could not easily intervene.
Well, the bridge was constructed by a private developer. There was a debate because it was private. We couldn't do anything about it.
This is what the underside of the bridge looks like. Most of the pillars supporting the southern side of the bridge are deteriorating. The rebar is exposed and the concrete is crumbling. The threat of collapse and an upcoming roadway construction prompted the Department of Public Works to take over and put up barricades that would limit the entry of large vehicles.
So that's the reason for the barricades being positioned between 9 feet apart, just to allow small vehicles, and then the posted sign of the weight limit.
No one informed the residents who are dealing with this. They did not inform us before placing the barricade, and they didn't take in consideration the angle that we have to approach the bridge.
But the 4-ton limit means water trucks are currently out of the question.
We do need water, and we get our water from water trucks to fill our cisterns.
And residents with cisterns that badly need refilling have to truck the water themselves, one small bin at a time.
Get the water from the source and truck it in their own personal vehicles. Doing it in this manner will take several trips.
But Public Works says that within a month, a temporary access road should make life a little easier for residents.
The completion date that's on record is February 28th.
And by summer of 2014, construction should begin on a more permanent access that would replace the broken down bridge. April Knight for News 2.
The Public Works asks for cooperation from motorists on the bridge's weight limit. Construction of the replacement roadway is expected to be completed by the end of the year. The repairs on the CHRISTIANSTED Boardwalk on St. Croix has been completed. The restoration project included the replacement of all surface pieces of the existing boardwalk with a composite material that looks like wood but is more durable and more resistant to the elements. Also, some areas on the boardwalk had been badly deteriorated and plywood patches were laid to prevent pedestrians from falling into the holes. Additionally, workers are currently preparing to install extra benches and trash bins as part of that project. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security's Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA, is seeking applicants for its Youth Preparedness Council. And Delegate to Congress Donna Christensen is encouraging Virgin Islands youth to apply. Any individual between the ages of 12 and 17 who is engaged in individual and community preparedness, or who has experienced a disaster that has motivated him or her to make a positive difference in his or her community, may apply to serve on the Youth Preparedness Council. The Youth Preparedness Council is a unique opportunity, according to the delegate, for youth leaders to serve on a highly distinguished national council and participate in the council as well. Youth interested in applying to the council must submit a completed application form and 2 letters of recommendation. You can go on FEMA's website for more information. Well, all St. Thomas St. John girls and young women between the ages of 10 to 32 all were invited this past weekend to the YWCA Y Teens VI Girls Get Fit Day on Saturday at the CAHS Gym and Play Field. Many of the young ladies enjoyed some aerobics, physical fitness, training, games, races, and nutritional information with healthy snack demonstrations. Girls' health and wellness information as well as HIV/AIDS prevention information was given out. Organizers say not only was it fun for the attendees, but a great opportunity to get fit and network. Well, a BVI musical and cultural exchange is going on presently at the Waiko Dock. The West Indian Company's launched its 2014 jazz concert series featuring Camus George, Dalen Vanterpool, and Second Degree Band. Now, it started at 5:30 p.m. and continues until 9:30 on the West Indian Company dock. Waiko officials are recognizing the fact that the Virgin Islands and the British Virgin Islands historically have close, century-long relationship, family ties, and they want to celebrate those relationships. Again, that's going on until 9:30 p.m. at the Waiko dock. Well, be sure to stick around. Your News 2 AccuWeather forecast is coming up next.